Live from KTIV, this is SportsFource Extra.
Welcome back, folks, to yet another edition of SportsFource Extra. I'm Jason Moeller, and tell you what, we have quite the mix of matchups on the hardwood and the mat at the high school level, plus a classic Big Ten Conference matchup in store for you all tonight. But as usual, we start our SportsFource Extra show right here in the Metro, where the Bishop Healing Crusaders found themselves in a crosstown showdown against the Sioux City West Wolverines. So, over to Bishop Healing we go, where we get things started in the girls matchup. Wolverines working in transition. They get the first score of the game thanks to Kimber Booman. And the Wolverines, they'd hang around early, but from then on it was all Healing. This loose ball sequence leads to a Brooklyn Stanley three ball. Again, Healing getting back to work. And Melina Snoozy, well, she'll catch the defense sleeping here. Burying the triple. That extends the Healing lead, and Bishop Healing, the Crusaders, get a quick steal here. Stanley swings it up to Snoozy. Snoozy takes it to the rack, gets the layup to fall. Crusaders win 74-28. Same two teams battling in the boys' game, and tell you what, it was a close ball game heading into the second quarter. Wolverines eating into the deficit. Colin Abelson finds Shamar Harrell for the corner three. West, they wouldn't be done. They come back down later, and again, another corner three drops. This one courtesy of Cameron Hegna. West leads 27-25. Healing, they get the steal though. Matt Knoll run the floor, and Knoll does what Knoll does. Slams that one home. Now it's all tied up. Healing with it once again. Carson McInerney dishes to Pierce Conley, who's waiting for the corner three. He buries it, and the Crusaders win 75-63. Across the border into Nebraska, South Sioux hosting Elkhorn North. Cards get it rolling early. Abby Aitken finds Bella Moret down low. Moret lays it in, and the Cards are leading 4-0. Elkhorn North out on the attack now. Five-star Nebraska commit goes behind the back, buries the top of the key three. But tell you what, the Cardinals, they came to battle. Brooklyn Heineman says, I see your three ball, but I raise you one from 4 feet behind the arc. Heineman cashes in, but she wasn't finished with the long triples. Clock winding down into the first quarter. Heineman from half court. That's got the Mini Dome rocking. Great effort from the Cards early, but Elkhorn North wins this one 76-57. Here we go, girls game. Elk Point Jefferson taking on Lennox. Orioles start out strong. They'd end the first quarter leading 18-12, but tell you what, the Huskies, they wouldn't give up. Kara Schmitz has the ball. She'll pass to Hannah Neerman. Neerman will give it to Caitlin Van Rokel, who drives up the middle for a layup. Later on here, Orioles get a good shot. That doesn't go. Huskies convert it, and they take the lead, a position they won't be leaving. Huskies take the game 57-54. On to the boys' game. Orioles, they're up early right out the gate, but the Huskies aren't going to let that stand. They respond with a three-pointer of their own from Carson Timmons, who hits from the corner. Band's there to keep that hype going, but the Orioles take back the lead. Porter Einen sinks another bucket, pushing through the Huskies' defense. Student section standing strong. Caden Moore takes the play right out of Timmons' book. He'll sink a corner three as well. But Orioles take this one 75-72. The Iowa Hawkeye men have found themselves in a bit of a funk as of late. Just 1-2 in their last 3 games entering the day. The Hawks, they were hoping to build on their momentum from a win over Michigan when they took on the Indiana Hoosiers. Now, after a slow start in this one, the Hawks started to heat up. Freshman Owen Freeman doing it inside. And here's Peyton Sanford cutting the lead to 3 with that triple. But then Iowa went 7 straight minutes without a score. Indiana took advantage. Anthony Walker with the flush. And the Hoosiers, they lead by 11 at the break. Hawkeyes with a big run to start the second half. Sanford for 3 of his 26th. Then Tony Perkins here went back to work. Perkins finished with 22. Hawks came back, took the lead, but it was all Indiana in the final minute. An 8-0 run. And getting the bounce here for a follow-up slam as the Hoosiers win 74-68.
We're the Bishop Healing Crusader cheerleaders.
And SportsFource Extra will be right back.